Well, hello, Little Falls. As always, just Jeffrey here. Today I'm being joined by Isabella Costa here at the Dey Mansion, and she's going to be taking us through the beautiful gardens of the Dey Mansion. This is a beautiful day for it.
It's incredible.
Birds are chirping, the skies are blue, and we're going to hand it over to Isabella.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us here at Dey Mansion, Washington's headquarters. Not only is this one of the crown jewels of Passaic County, but it's also personally my favorite place to be and hang out. I'm here today to take you on a tour of the gardens. These gardens were recently redesigned through a grant-funded project from the New Jersey Historical Trust about 3 years ago, and it is an award-winning garden from the American Landscape Architects Society in 2023. So we're really proud of our achievements here at the Dey Mansion. So if you walk with me this way, we're going to just take a little stroll through the gardens as I talk about how they came to be. Now, back when the Deys lived here in the 1700s, the gardens would not have looked like this. They would have had an herb garden, a vegetable garden, anything just to be a self-sustaining colonial era home. However, in the 1930s, during Washington's bicentennial birthday anniversary, the United States, in order to revitalize and revive a lot of the homes in which Washington had stayed in during the American Revolution, the residents of Passaic County and Wayne specifically banded together to advocate for the restoration of the Dey Mansion and the surrounding gardens. With that, we were able to bring in the Olmsted Brothers firm, which was at that time led by Frederick Law Olmsted's sons John Henry and Charles Olmsted, and a third partner who was trained by Frederick Law Olmsted himself, Percival Gallagher, who was the man who actually oversaw all of our county park projects. In the 1930s, when the Passaic County decided to establish their park system, we ran into a little bit of an issue. I don't know how many of you can recall the Great Depression and the Great Stock Market Crash of 1929, but Black Friday threw everybody for a loop. Even though we had money appropriated to design, the geese are coming by to say hi. Even though we had money appropriated to construct and to buy property and build 4 county parks, most of the projects were put on hold until we can guarantee funding from the Workers' Progress Administration program from the Great New Deal. Once that was awarded, the county then had the Olmsted Brothers firm design a series of planting plans and the garden itself to revitalize the area surrounding Dey Mansion, as you see here today. This is the design that you see today is based off of the Olmsted firm's original landscape designs in 1935. As I stated before, this is not what the gardens would have looked like during the colonial era, and the gardens were designed actually after what colonial gardens would have looked like in the South. Colonial Williamsburg was used as one of the models for recreating for inspiring the colonial revival era that came with the 1930s. So if you walk this way so you can see some more plants. I actually have here in my hand, I'm going to list off a few. We can still walk and I'll talk. I'm just going to list off a few of the of some of the plants that were chosen, just in case we have some folks who are really into horticulture here. I don't want to leave you out. But we do have some Madonna lilies, gold hand lilies, Jack in the Pulpit. I don't know what that looks like. But also some daylilies, some German irises, foxgloves, a few different types of bellflowers, lily of the valley, tree peonies, Christmas rose, and some snowdrops, to name a few. The one reason why we know so much about the plantings in our gardens and about the development of our gardens is that the county was able to save the documents that were part of the founding of the Passaic County Park Commission from 1927 all the way through 1950. That was the set of organizers who oversaw the establishment of the Park Commission itself, but then also the development of the 4 county parks that you guys get to enjoy today. So let's continue walking. One of my favorite things about working at historic sites is that you think you know everything. We have a number of historic photos, we have a number of historic documents, we have firsthand testimonies from the folks that lived here. However, some things can kind of get by us. It's not that we're not being super super focused on what we're working with, but sometimes we miss things. And one of my favorite parts of the garden is over here on the other side. So let's take a walk and okay. So the reason why I brought you over here was that in 2018, after reviewing again for the umpteenth time historic photographs, our staff here at Dey Mansion noticed a privy. Now, if you ever come to Dey Mansion, you'll notice there are a number of outer buildings, some that have been here, but others that have been resurrected to give off the appearance of what the property would have looked like when the Deys lived here in the 1700s. The privy itself would have been right here. As you can see, there's different color stone marking the perimeter of the building itself. Today we are used to restrooms inside the home, but some of you folks may know that there were outhouses that we would have used instead of using the restrooms inside. But also during the 1700s, the privies were also used as garbage cans. So in 2018, we had a archaeology group come in and do a dig. And throughout the levels, they pulled out some pieces of porcelain, earthenware, jugs, jars, plates, and animal bones that we all have on display inside of our visitor center. To kind of indicate what the Dey family would have been using on their in their home at the time. And another thing that I always love telling people here is that yes, this is the restroom that George Washington, Alexander Hamilton would have used when they stayed on the Dey Mansion property in the 1780s, which my father did say when I told him that fact. He was like, oh, so if you dig deep enough, you might be able... And I stopped him right there because I was just like, we're good. Like, you got the point. So thank you so much for coming on this tour with me to the Dey Mansion Gardens. If any of you have questions, please reach out to our staff here at Dey Mansion. We have documents that can tell you a little bit more about the design process. We have the original layout as well, from the Olmsted Brothers firm. And if you have any questions in general, our lovely staff is here Wednesday through Sunday, and they give tours on the hour, every hour from 10 to 5.
I have a question.
Yeah.
When are we coming back?
Oh my God, whenever you want. This place is open for you guys to enjoy. We just love Little Falls, and we love collaborating with the library so much.
We love you guys.
Yeah.
And come down. Everybody should come down here. Check out these gardens, the birds, the bees, the flowers, the trees. Yeah.
Come and picnic. We have picnic tables, or come sit in our benches. It's just such a lovely site to take a stroll and really just reset from a very busy work day.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much,
Thank you so
Isabella.
much,
We
Jeffrey.
really appreciate it. A
Yeah.
very big thank you again to Dey Mansion. And the staff here, as always, are absolutely terrific, and we look forward to seeing them again, and we look forward to bringing you another episode of Historic New Jersey. Take care, Little Falls.
Bye.